Just a quick video. As you can see here, this is my Bridgeport milling machine, and when I bought it, the power feed, what they call a Bridgeport Vari-Speed 3, I think it is, was non-functional, and I've not been able to get it to work. I'm not an electrician. There's a controller up in the power box over here called an Erskine board, and I suspect that there's probably something either blown in the Erskine board or maybe in the brushes in the motor of this power feed that doesn't work. So I decided to convert the mill over to one of the Align brand power feeds, servo type power feed, which for anyone who hasn't done it is quite a well, let's put it this way, it's taken me 2 or 3 weeks of messing around for a lot of hours to actually get it to work. But I've got a power converter up there to convert the 240 here in Australia down to 110, the US power supply that most of these things are supplied with or for. And you can see here that it's powered up. It took an awful lot of work on this little slip coupling and the shaft that goes between there and out to the end of the handle here. Forgive me wobbling on the camera, I'm filming this one-handed. So the difficulty that you come across is that this one down here, that shaft, which goes from there all the way around to there, is probably a couple of inches longer than the shaft you need to go from inside that slip coupling to the end of that handle. So you've got to make a new shaft, essentially, is what you've got to do. And you've virtually got to duplicate the cross-section, or the shaft, if you like. You've got to duplicate the shaft that is inside the opposite end, which, with some help, some very talented machinists, I was able to do. And in essence, if you look on this lead screw, that's what you're duplicating. There's a thread on the end here, which, yep, can't get off one-handed, but no, I'm spinning the whole shaft. Anyway, there's a thread under there, woodruff key here, shaft, and then this one here is where the bush on the bearing inside that Align brand servo power feed runs on. So you've got to duplicate that in the correct length to match what's needed for this one, which is shorter than that one. And assuming you can do all that, you've then got to get this slip coupler under here to line up. And you can see I've drilled a lot of holes in that, and I've got temporarily just a cotter pin holding that at the moment, just so that when you tighten up the nut on the end of here, you don't sandwich the whole thing together by the slip coupling sliding off your shaft, off your lead screw shaft. So yeah, for someone who's a carpenter and not a machinist, I'm going to tell you this has been a monumental task. But proof is in the pudding, as they say. When you turn it on, it works. And you have a jog function. Put it in the opposite way, and that works as well. So I'm not completely finished yet. I've got to route all this cabling correctly, and I've got to install this power transformer somewhere, I guess, on this power box over here. And I've got to remove the wire and probably the Erskine board from this Bridgeport power feed that goes into the bottom of that power box over there. So yeah, there's a little bit more left to do yet, but it's been a long, late night. And I'm pretty happy that I've finally got to the end of it, and it actually works. So yeah, pleased to see that. You got no idea how many dollars and how many hours and how much scratching on my head and pulling hair out has happened to get that happening. But the fact that it's now functional makes me outrageously happy, because I didn't think I was ever going to get there. But here we go. Thanks for watching. Hope that helps somebody out. There is a firm in the UK who actually make the adapter shaft. So if you don't have a lathe like me yet, when you're looking to do that exact conversion, if you've got one of these older, mine's a 1952 Adcock Shipley Bridgeport, and if it's got the old Bridgeport power feed on it, I forget what it's called, Flex Servo something 3. If it's got one of those on it and you want to convert it to one of these, because like me, you can't find anyone to fix the Erskine board, and if you need to get that shaft, there is a company in the UK that supplies them. So what I'll do is I'll put their details in the description of this video when I upload it, so that anyone else that needs it can go and buy one. I think they're about 40 UK pounds, the guy was saying. I wasn't aware you could get one of those, so I ended up trying to figure out what I needed and drew up somewhere. Can't find it. Anyway, I drew a scale diagram of what I needed basically, and I got somebody with a lathe very kindly to turn it up for me. And I admit that I did not get it 100% correct the first time, but with a lot of shims and spacers and a lot of re-drilling holes and whatever, I did eventually get there. But oh, here we go. So this is what I ended up having to draw to get it made. And to be honest with you, there was it could have done with a bit more length on this end. I ended up adding about another 6 mil in there. But anyway, that's the sort of thing you need if you want to make one yourself, or alternatively, if you want to buy one from this guy in the UK, you'll find the link in the description to the guy that supplies them. So I hope that'll help somebody else out with one of these old Bridgeports. Like I said, this is a 1952 model. So a lot of them did come with that servo, or that actual, I forget what they call it now, Flex 3 something or other. The Bridgeport power feed anyway. A lot of them came with that old one. I'll give you a good close-up look at it in case you're trying to identify whether it's the one you've got. But so anyway, hope that helps. Thank you to everybody that's assisted me with this, because I've picked a lot of brains trying to figure this out, and I got to admit, this really has tested me. Cheers, guys. Leave me your comments. Let me know what you think. Bye.